Howdy, 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 back at it again. Today's video going to be a Marisa focused video that looks at Oki setups that beat delayed mashing. If you like this type of content, you want to see more of it, leave a like in the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow it. I'd really appreciate the support. If you just want to support me, please check out the link in the pinned comment to my fantasy novel Zealot's Trial. I'm really excited about it, and I would love it if you would check it out, consider making a purchase. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first place to start is just, what do I mean when I say delayed mash? I mean exactly what it sounds like I mean. So I mean, on Wake Up, instead of pressing the button immediately and letting himself get meatied, he just says, you know what, I'm going to wait a few frames. Just like with the delay tech, except instead of pushing throw, you're pushing, crouch light punch. He says, I'm going to wait a few frames so that if you do a good meaty, I block it. But if you try to get, tricky with something like drive rush into throw, I'm going to check it. Or drive rush into like charged heavy, I'm going to check it. Right? So that's what delay mash is. That's the point of doing it. Right? It kind of protects you against people, doing fake options. And then sort of also still protects you from people keeping it super duper frame tight. This video is sort of inspired by something Lazy Boredom said in the Marisa Discord. He said, like, people just don't mash unless first frame wake up. So he doesn't do frame kills because it doesn't matter, right? He wants his manually timed stuff to hit later. And I understand the first part of it of like no one mashes on wake up, but the second part sort of seems like a non sequitur because you don't need to design a frame kill to hit on the first frame wake up. So how late do we want to hit? Well, to me, I want to hit on frame 3 or frame 4 generally, depending on how much people are delaying their mash by, whatever. But what's nice about this is if I hit on frame 3, for example, which drive rush into charge heavy punch does off of light Dima, by the way, I'm still hitting him if he doesn't delay it. But if he delays it slightly, he still gets hit too, right? So he has to delay it by like kind of a lot, by like 3 frames or so, in order to actually block this, right? So this ends up being like actually a pretty decent option for you. But what else do we have? Well, what else we have is we can do a frame kill with stand light kick and then go into towards heavy kick, and that hits on frame 4. Okay, so what that means is if he does like a slight delay, like 3 frame delay, even this hits him. We can even do this medium gladius into level 3, should connect. We could also drive rush cancel it, right, into whatever, and then on block, we get a mix up between command grab and stand medium kick or whatever. So really, really kind of good stuff. What if he doesn't delay mash? Well, this is what's cool about hitting on frame 4 is you're going to target trades. Now, the quality of the trade is going to depend on the button you use, the button they used, so like what character you're fighting. But against a good chunk of the cast in this situation, in this trade, you're going to be able to link into towards medium punch. Right? Like that. Now, normally, you'd have to confirm hitter standing or just go into that. But Marisa's towards heavy kick actually forces stand. So here you can just go into the kick ender, and if you have supers, you can spend them. So we can do level 3 here, and this does like 53%, I think, altogether, which is pretty substantial. And you can also do... Whoops. Oh my goodness. What's my problem? You can also do level 1 for about 40%. Level 2 not worth doing. It has extra scaling off of that target combo for some reason. So it only does like 90 more damage than level 1. Right? But this is a setup that doesn't target their first frame of wake up, is a frame kill, hits some delayed mash. Now, yeah, if they're delaying stuff by a ton, will this work? No, they'll block it, right? But if they're delaying stuff by that much, then you can get away with a lot faker Oki, right? Like that's like a decision that they're making where they're not really keeping themselves safe from, they're keeping themselves fake or safe only from super real stuff, right? Or super fake stuff. In the corner, this somehow even gets even better. So you can do whiff, frame kill, crouch, light punch. Leaves you up plus 16. And then you go into charge back heavy punch. On counter hit, so if they mash, you can go on counter hit. This puppy links into towards heavy kick, OD quadrica, and then they just die. If they mash immediately, you're going to get a trade into towards heavy kick, into OD quadriga, and they just die. If they jump, you know, you can do like whatever combo, and they pretty much just die. And then another benefit to this I haven't even talked about yet is this hits outside the normal perfect parry window. So they can't just do like the normal, oh, I'm getting up, I'm going to perfect parry on wake up timing. They have to delay that by 2 frames as well. So that feels pretty good. Off of medium Dima, there really isn't much if we want to target frame 4. So you can do like dash into driver stand medium punch. And on counter hit, you can go into back heavy punch. That's really nice. And if they wake up with it immediately, you'll trade. And against pretty much every character, you're going to either be able to go into back heavy punch or another stand medium punch. The main issue is if they were to like jump out or something, you're only plus 6. So you're either going to have to rock with medium medium right away, or you're just going to have to get this, which obviously loses quite a lot of damage. So you don't really get a whole lot targeting frame 4. Targeting frame 3, you can do stuff like drive rush into crouch medium kick, which is okay. Or excuse me, stand light punch, target combo, and then drive rush into crouch medium kick. Doesn't get you a lot of damage just because of how heavy it's scaled. And you're not close enough to hit this. So there's not a ton great from medium Dima mid-screen, actually. In the corner, though, you get the classics, right? So you get whiff stand light punch into this. That only hits on frame 3, so it will not trade with immediate buttons. It'll just beat them. Which, again, isn't bad, but it means that if they do like a, you know, if they do even a 3-frame delay, they cover that. Now, obviously, they still have to guess, right? You still get mixed. That's not my point. My point is just frame 4 is probably better than frame 3 with Marisa just because of a lot of the buttons she's using trade in her favor. So let's look at this real quick. This is kind of the most common thing. We can actually set up the same situation as light Dima by doing forward dash and then frame kill crouch light punch into towards heavy kick, where once again this will trade with immediate wake up button, and you get the combo if you don't suck, right, into whatever. And then of course, you know, it also gives you pressure on block and sets up spacing traps and all that fun stuff. From OD Dima, you actually have a couple more frames of advantage here. So you can do forward dash and then drive rush into charge back heavy punch. And that hits on frame 4 of wake up. Into towards heavy kick. Into whatever the heck you want, right? And then, of course, again, if they delay it by a little bit, you still get your huge, huge reward. Awesome. Last thing I want to look at generally is going to be safe jump knockdown. So it's plus 42. If you don't feel like going for the safe jump for whatever reason, you can set up a couple different frame kills here. So you can do stand jab and then charge towards heavy kick to, of course, catch, delay, mash. And then also trade with immediate button. If you're like, yeah, but Zach, that's 27 frames, and the people I play perfect parry that or reversal that, then we can whiff crouch medium punch to leave us at that plus 16 again and set up the chargeback heavy punch that we looked at from here. So it's the same situation. I know that was kind of quick, but I think it's important. I'm going to try to start implementing some of that stuff into my own games against some higher level players just to see how often people are delay mashing, because I think right now I don't really have a feel for like, oh, he's pressing jab late or whatever. So I'm going to try. Hopefully you try to implement some of that stuff too. Hopefully this is helpful. As always, have a good time.